Hey everybody, it's Janice with Creating Through Chaos, and today we're going to dress up one of the Dollar Tree wooden hearts. So I grabbed one of these wooden hearts from the Valentine's Day section. This little wooden palette from Dollar Tree also. This beautiful scrapbook paper from Hobby Lobby. Some brown wax. I grabbed some pink florals from Dollar Tree. I also used some lace ribbon and some wooden beads. I don't have them shown here. So the first thing I'm going to do is take that brown wax and I'm going to stain the palette, and then I'm going to stain the heart. And here is the heart and the palette all stained. Once that heart was all dry, I laid it onto my scrapbook paper and I traced it out and cut it out. I also did the back side of my heart. You don't have to do that. I just really like to have the back sides of my projects finished. So once I have it traced out, I'm just going to take my scissors and cut out the heart. Then I'm going to use a nice thick coat of Mod Podge, and I'm going to attach the scrapbook paper to my heart. And once it was all smoothed out and dry, I'm just going to take a sanding block that I got at Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to sand off the excess around the edges. This is also going to allow for some of the stain to show through and kind of give it more of a rustic vibe. Once I had the paper all on, I'm going to take my little palette and I'm going to hot glue that to the bottom of my heart right in the center. I'm just going to line it up and then press it down. Once my palette was secure, I took some of that lace ribbon and I'm going to run it along a couple of the slats on the palette, and I'm just going to use regular white glue for that. It's just like an Elmer's craft glue. I'm just going to use that, and then I'm going to trim off the edges once I have it attached. And I just think that looks super cute. Next, I made a bow out of some twine, and I'm just going to hot glue that in the center, and then I'm going to hot glue a small pink button right to the center of that. I'm just going to use a little hot glue, add it on to the front, trim off the excess, and then I'm just going to add my little button to the middle. And I really think that just kind of makes the palette pop a little bit more. And once I had the palette all decorated, I'm going to just take some of those flowers that I got and I trim them down to size, and I'm just going to place those inside of the palette. And on some of them, I took the greenery out because it just made the flowers a little too bulky. And then I had to trim a couple more. And I ended up, I believe, using just 3 flowers because the 4 just took up too much space and just looked too crowded. And once I had them arranged how I wanted them to look, How adorable is that? Next, I'm going to take those beads that I was saying that I ended up using, and I'm just going to use some of the brown wax and stain them all with the brown wax. And I just did this by laying them on a baby wipe and spreading some of the brown wax on top, and then just using another baby wipe to wipe it off. Next, I'm going to take some twine and run it through one side and tie it off into a knot in the front. And then I'm going to string my stained beads on, and then I'm going to tie off the other side the same way once I have the length that I want. And I think this just turned out so super cute. My fiance had suggested that I do every other bead, maybe a color that is like a pink to match the floral. So I may just do that because that's actually a good idea. I think this turned out adorable, and I love the fact that it can be left out year round because it's not just Valentine's. It's kind of like a shabby chic and springtime. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and please don't forget to spread the chaos.